Hello, and welcome to the Get Lean and Eat Clean podcast. My name is Brian Grin. I'm a certified health coach, trainer, and author. And this podcast is for middle-aged men and women looking to optimize their health and get their bodies back to what it once was 10 to 15 years ago. I will give you simple, actionable items to get long-term sustainable results. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. All right. Welcome to the Get Lean, Eat Clean podcast. My name is Brian Grin. I hope you had a great weekend. And today I'm going to talk about a topic that I think is really relevant for a lot of different people. I get questions all the time. Well, how much cardio should I do? Should I be, lifting weights, and how many times per week? I think it all depends on your lifestyle, your goals, but I'm going to try to just lay out what would be ideal for efficiency, for fat burning, and hopefully you can implement some of this into your routine if you haven't already, because I'm actually going to start doing that as well. I do a lot of this, but sometimes we can always add more or take out. And what you're going to notice from building a consistent program is it's not about this crazy 2-hour workouts that just cause a lot of stress and take a lot of time. I believe that the industry, and I'm seeing this with just a lot of people that I'm interviewing, and with my buddy Brad Kearns talks a lot about with his guests, is these micro workouts where you don't need to go to the gym or be gone for an hour and a half and come back dripped in sweat. You can do these quick level workouts, these quick micro workouts, and be a lot more efficient and get a lot more bang for your buck. So I think a consistent program is a combination of lifting, sprinting occasionally, and also mobility work. And so I'm going to talk about that today. And you don't need these overly stressful exercise regimens to get results. And I can tell you that just because I've implemented the X3 workouts into my program and also my fat burner blueprint, and people are getting great results, putting on muscle, getting stronger, not having issues with their joints, and not being sore all the time. So one of the things that you want to keep in mind when you're doing any type of cardio or aerobic exercise is heart rate. And obviously there's a lot of heart rate monitors out there. You can get one easily. But you want to keep that in mind, because when you get to a certain point with heart rate, there could be like a black hole, they call it, where you're exercising almost too intensely and it's actually doing you more harm than good. So too intense for too long. But if you find sort of that sweet spot and you use that as your sort of your baseline when you're doing aerobic exercise, that can go a long way. Now, how do you find that sweet spot? Well, Dr. Phil Maffetone, he's a coach advisor to a ton of great triathletes in the world and the author of the big book of endurance training and racing. He recommends, and a lot of this is science-based, that you should be working out at or below a heart rate of 180 minus your age. So that for me, that'd be about 140. And that would be your target. So even at this very comfortable intensity level, you're working, trust me, it's not that comfortable, but it's not overly crazy. You're going to stimulate a lot of good, let's just say, metabolic functions of your body. And also you're going to improve your cardiovascular function, lung capacity, all other things, as well as like strengthening your bones and joints and connective tissues. You're also minimizing the risk of injury. So you want to keep this in mind when you're doing cardio. Now, how can you implement this into your workout routine? I'm going to talk about that. So what would be an ideal workout regimen to follow? Let me just give you sort of a high level. One, you want to move frequently every day. This doesn't mean you need to go for a run every day. This means you just need to get up and not have long stretches of inactivity. If you're just sitting at your desk for 8 hours, I'm sure you're going to get up a little bit, but make sure you get up every 30 minutes and move around. I actually kneel at my desk, so I don't like to sit. So I get better posture. My hips are in flexion. I'm extending my hips. And anyways, but that's another thing. Not a lot of people kneel. I like to, but I'm up. You want to get up, go for walks, maybe cycle. Doesn't have to be long. And then you want to implement some mobility work. So one, you want to move frequently, avoid like prolonged inactivity. Two, you want to do some mobility work. This could be 10-minute. I have actually in the 21-day challenge, which is coming out soon. You'll be hearing about that. I'm revamping my 21-day intermittent fasting challenge. But anyways, mobility work. I do a 10-minute movement prep. So that video's in there. But you could do Pilates, yoga, any type of mobility or rolling, dynamic rolling, stretching. Brent Brookbush, who I just had on the podcast, definitely listen to that one. Actually, that one's coming out soon. I don't think it has come out yet. No, it came out. Okay, I'm losing track. No, it comes out next week. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways, he has a ton of great programs as far as mobility work and rolling and things like that. So move frequently. Next is you want to lift heavy things. This could be using the X3 bar. This could be deadlifts, squats, kettlebells. You want to do that about 2 to 3 times per week, for 10 to 30 minutes. So you want to do brief, intense resistance exercises. Okay. Next is you want to do some type of like a sprint or a bike. You could even do this in the pool, but you want to do this like maybe once a week or once every 10 days when you're feeling energized. And this is like doing several 8 to 20 second bursts. So my good friend Brad Kearns had Dr. Craig Marker on, and he talks about what's called HIRT, which is high intensity repeat training. Now, the key is you want to keep the intensity up each time. So you want to practice these exercises short duration. Intensity is key. Don't worry about any guilt about not training longer. And the work duration should be between 5 to 15 seconds. Now, I have to say, I have not really implemented this, and I'm going to start doing this. I think I'm going to just do it on a bike. I'm not a big biker, but I can do 8 to 20 second sprints for on and off for a minute. So you want to make sure you rest too. So let's say you do a 10-second sprint, then you rest for 45 seconds. Then you do it again. And you want to train in every minute on the minute. So you can do 10 minutes and then 50 seconds off, 10 minutes on, 50 seconds off. And you want to pick exercises that you're not going to deal with injury, less risk of injury, so you can sort of maintain your max power. So sprinting would be great, but let's be realistic. We're in our 40s, 50s, and above. Do we really want to be sprinting, and do we have a place to do that at? So, perhaps you could row, you could swim, you could do sled pushes. You could even do kettlebells if you have some. Make sure you have someone teach you the correct form. So you want to do these. So just to highlight what I've talked about, ideal workout regimen: move frequently every day. This is going for walks. This is just getting up and making sure that you're not sitting all the time. Then you want to implement some mobility work, and I would say doing this every day to every other day. This could be a 10-minute, literally yoga session. Next, lift heavy things. So this any type of resistance training. What's heavy for you is not heavy for someone else. It doesn't have to be crazy, but I would do that brief, intense resistance training at least 2 to 3 times per week. And that session does not need to be 2 hours. That could be 10 to 15-minute session. Usually my X3 workouts are about 15 minutes. And then you want to do that HIRT, the high intensity repeat training. And like I mentioned, this would be maybe once a week or once every 10 days. And right there, if you could do those, let's say 4 things: move frequently, mobility work, lift heavy things, and do HIRT, high intensity repeat training, you are definitely on your way. And if you don't do any of them now, maybe start with one and then build into it. So that would be ideal. And when you're doing your cardio workouts, make sure you're doing 180 minus your age. All right. So for me, that's around 140. So that would be like cycling or hiking or walking. And then, So that would be the basis around having an ideal workout regimen. And I think that's a great place to start. So if you have any questions, let me know about that. And again, these don't have to be crazy workouts. These are something that you can implement, and just make sure you're moving every day and doing something positive for your health. And if you have any questions regarding this, let me know. Hope you're enjoying these micro podcasts, and we will talk soon. Have a great day. Hey, Get Lean, Eat Clean Nation. Are you a man between the ages of 40 and 60 years old looking to lose inches around your waist, have significantly more energy throughout the day, and gain muscle, all while minimizing the risk of injuries? Well, I'm looking for 3 to 5 people to work one-on-one with in my Fat Burner Blueprint signature program, which I've developed by utilizing my 15 years experience in the health and fitness space. This program is designed specifically for those committed to making serious progress towards their health goals over the next 6 months. We will focus on sleep, stress, nutrition, meal timing, and building lean muscle. If this sounds like a fit for you, email me at brian@briangrin.com with the subject line Blueprint. That's brian@briangrin.com with the subject line Blueprint. Thanks for listening to the Get Lean, Eat Clean podcast. I understand there are millions of other podcasts out there, and you've chosen to listen to mine, and I appreciate that. Check out the show notes at briangrin.com for everything that was mentioned in this episode. Feel free to subscribe to the podcast and share it with a friend or family member that's looking to get their body back to what it once was. Thanks again, and have a great day.